Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why I'm singing Star Wars, but welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Line Golf Academy. So today is a quick review of an amateur that submitted a swing. His name is Alexander. He's a professional ice hockey player, and we're looking at Alexander taking his swings, multiple swings, and we can all relate. This looks like a swing of frustration, a practice session of frustration. It doesn't quite look like things are going his way, and we've all been there before. We can all relate to this. So welcome to the channel, and this is a atypical type of video. These are usually more edited, special effects. My breaks are taken out, but today, because I'm so busy, I just decided to throw this up there. This is a kind of an emergency. I received this about a week ago, and I apologize, Alexander, for not getting back sooner. But what we're looking at, just visually, we can see that there is a lot of misalignment going on, a lot of basic setup issues that can help this man strike the golf ball. And from this face-on view, he let me know that he shanked almost every single shot except for the last one. And although we don't say that word, we have to say it today to get the point across. And what we're going to do is diagnose this swing from face on and down the line and take a look at some things that can help him without even addressing his swing motion, because his swing right now, being an athlete, he's trying to figure out a way to hit that golf ball without addressing the basic fundamentals. So let's get started. So before we get to that face-on view, what we're going to look is down the line and take a look at some basic setup. And what we're going to see is, where is that weight supported? So we go, that's a little too far forward. We go from right where that Nike logo is and straight up to the sky. Now I know that this camera angle is a little bit off center, so it is going to skew some of this perception, but you can see that there's a lot of this body weight behind that center point. So it looks like you're standing a little bit tall, a little bit close, which could affect some rotation. So first of all, let's just get you to back your feet up a little bit, get some spacing behind, but that's not the main issue here. Your main issue is a lack of tilt at impact. So let's go to the top of the screen here and take a look at the tilting numbers. So we get right here, and we're going to do our trusty little tool here and see what your number is. And you are, why is that thing crooked? I don't know, maybe you need some more coffee like me. So you're at 34 degrees. Let's take a look at where you get down just past impact. And we're going to look here, and we are now at, what is that, 40 degrees, 42 degrees. So you get about 8 degrees of tilting down, which is okay. But you want it to be 15, 20 degrees, specifically if you want to come from the inside and also help strike down on the golf ball. But why can't you do that? Because of your setup flaw face on. So I've got a video of Justin Rose. We're going to plop right next to you. We're going to look at where his setup is for a mid iron. I'm not sure what iron this is, but I chose a mid iron. He has a slight forward press, kind of like you want to do, but this is just to show you some cause and effect of why you cannot get your left shoulder to increase the tilt, because A, there's not enough room to do so because your legs are too close to the golf ball, but B, because of your ball position and how you set up and how it affects your impact, the bottom of your circle. If you increase your tilting, you will hit about 2 feet behind the ball because of the way you are set up. So this is just a recipe for frustration, and we can see it in your face, even though this quality of the video is not up to par, but the heart is there. So we're going to do it anyway. Even if you send me a 2-pixel potato video, we'll take care of it. So let's look at the face-on view next to Justin Rose. Okay, for the life of me, we got Justin Rose on right side. I could not figure out how to reverse his video, so I actually had to look it up on YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. And I figured it out. So Justin Rose is now lefty, and we have our man of the hour on the left side. So I want you to look at where the shoulder tilting is at this point, and also the center of the spine. And we're going to look at a couple of differences already. So we can see the one on the left side, we have a lot of room that's separating the spacing between the golf ball, versus the one on the right side, it is a tighter spacing. Now this can help for many things, but the big thing is the tilting of the upper body. So the upper body tilting on the left side is more back, versus the right side it's more straight down, which will allow his attack angle to increase downward. So the center of his circle is basically working down, where the center of the left side is actually working up. So this could cause some shanks, this could cause some tops, this could cause some heavies, because your hands have to be really engaged and their timing has to be really good. But take a look at the left shoulder action. So his left. So we're going to look at this left shoulder and this left, and watch as we go through the golf ball. So the one on the left side of the screen, watch the left shoulder, look how high it finishes here, versus the one on the right side. We're going to keep pushing forward, and look at that left shoulder finishing much lower. So this is that tilting that we're talking about, that you don't have the tilting. Let's back it up a little bit, make it a little bit more fair. So there, so we see how the left shoulder is not as tilted as the one on the right side. So the tilting is caused from you because the upper body has too much tilting backwards. So let's look at the way you set up at the original starting point of your swing. Okay, so normally we'd be drawing this with Barney purple, but Barney purple is kind of hard to see with all these other colors. So we got the spine angle line and the shoulder tilt line. So we're going to take a look at pretty similar setup here. However, we're going to look at where that club shaft is. So we extend the club shaft up on Justin Rose, and we extend the club shaft up on you, and we take a look at how much forward this club shaft is. Now remember, the club shaft as well as your body have circles that we have to work around. So if we take 90 degrees from your club shaft and we have kind of that action, this is all eyeballing it, versus 90 degrees on the right side, we can see how the one on the right side is more up and down versus the one on the left is tilted towards your target. Now when you tilt things towards your target and your upper body's tilted backwards, we can start to see that something's going to be misaligned. So if we were to have a big circle, let's see if we can do this on first take. So if we have a big circle, and let's draw this in red. First take circle. Whoa, that's not the first take circle. So let's just start from the center. So first take circle, there is your club arc, and here is his club arc. And let's now draw a new color. Let's do this one in Barney. And we go from your shoulder circle versus the shoulder circle. And we're going to take a look at the two circles. So now we're going to draw these together so we can see how one circle is, which way is it tilting. So if we draw them, now this might get confusing, but let's draw this in orange. So if we draw some straight lines, that's where your circles are matching up versus his circles are matching up more up and down. So remember, with a iron, we want to have a more up and down motion to strike down the golf ball, because yours is so tilted back. If you do go down, if you get your left shoulder down, guess where you're going to strike the ground? You're going to strike the ground back over here. So you cannot strike the ground. You cannot get your left shoulder down. So you in turn rotate from the top, which causes some path issues. Once you have your path issues, once you have your club face issues with that path, you can either hit it perfect, which is why I always say you can hit a golf ball perfect from any position, but can you do it routinely? That's the secret. Where the one on the right side, at least the lines are pointing more up and down. The circles are lining up together correctly. Your circles are just a little bit out of sequence. So a couple things. Let's clear all these lines up. Let's just bring up you by yourself. Okay, now, so the question becomes, how do I get my circles to work up and down together as opposed to tilting too far back? Well, let's take a look at that ball position. The ball position is not too bad, right? So we're going to draw that line from the ball position straight up to the sky, and you can see it's pretty much right in the center of your feet, maybe slightly forward, but it's not too bad. What's the concerning thing is where those hands are. So those hands are definitely forward pressing off to your right leg, and we're also shaft leaning, which again will bring your circles away from each other. So in order to bring your circles closer, you notice how your hands now can actually be more in line with that center point. So if we can just back your hands up slightly, and we do that, let me find a good color here. So if we do that, put your hands right about, let's do a circle. So we put the circle right there, and then what that'll promote is the club shaft more up and down with that spine angle. So let's draw the spine angle here. So if the club shaft is going through here, this will also help you level your shoulder tilt at the starting point. So right now we have a little bit too much shoulder tilt going back here. That's because you are forward pressing your hands. Now there's two ways to forward press I've seen people do. I've seen them either increase their tilting or they increase their turning and they actually open their shoulders at address. So this is where it becomes a little dicey, because when you start compensating for the ball position, that's where compensations can really affect your in-swing principles. So let's get your shoulders to be a little bit more level, so you feel like you're standing more level. Now remember, the left shoulder, your left shoulder, which is this one, is going to actually be more tilted naturally because your hand is lower on the grip, and that's going to form a natural tilt. Anytime you forward press, that makes it unnatural, and you can either hit the ball steep into the ground or you learn to turn around it. Now you're a very good athlete, you have learned to turn around it. So before we even address swing changes, try this out. Do a simple setup change put that ball slightly more in the center, let your hands relax a little bit more, level out your shoulder tilts, and then just start to swing. Now, it's not going to fix anything right away, but you might be a little bit more free. Now, remember, also back up a little away from the golf ball to give you some room to tilt. So at the top of the swing, now you can get that tilting motion. This does not cure your sequencing issues, but it will definitely help you get in positions to hit the ball a little bit better so you don't hit that big S word that we don't like talking about. But give that a try. Follow up with me in a couple weeks. Let me know how it goes, and we'll see if we can help you further. So I hope that helps you. I'm out to teach. I'll see you next week. Fairways and green. Dun, 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 dun,